What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. With this video, we are jumping into Superman Action Comics issue number 1043. If you have not been keeping up with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Superman ever since he left Earth. This issue is continuing us on our journey in Warworld. The uprising has begun. Superman's rebellion is breaking down the walls. As this rebellion rises, we have Mongul, who's becoming more merciless, trying to spread his power and spread his influence. Superman is running out of options. Also in this issue, we will be getting the origins of the very first Mongul. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Superman and his rebellion making their approach on the Teacher's Citadel. The Teacher is the individual that has kept Manchester Black in custody, experimenting on him and trying to manifest his powers, to use Black as a weapon against his friends. The only issue, Teacher has run out of time. Superman breaking down the front door. He lets it be known that whatever you are doing here, it is all done. Using his last line of defense, he sends Orphan and Darling both to attack the forces. Not really doing a deep dive into who these guys are. These two creatures, they rely on one another. Not sure if Orphan is actually a real child or if it's something else entirely. The monster that is housing that child, he is going to take it down, coming down and slicing right through the neck. We see the machine parts fall down and the machine is completely incinerated, with Teacher being taken down. This is a huge blow to Mongul, one of his generals, one of his strongest generals, along with Orphan and Darling. And while if this isn't enough, Mongul's forces, his hordes that are digging down into Warworld, they are destroying Necropolis. This is where the rebels have been hiding this entire time. The thing about it though is it changes. There is no way to map it, no way to find them inside of this. And so he would rather destroy it completely and wipe out his enemies. Not only that, the Genesis fragment, there is more of it underneath this planet. We have seen how powerful and how valuable that stuff can be. Mongul is hell-bent on mining all of it, being warned that this could very easily destabilize the entire planet. He cares not. Still having Apollo locked up as his prisoner, he has wires attached all over his body. As he becomes one with Warworld, they use him to give their war power. And this is when their invasion of other planets begins. Picking back up with Superman and the Rebellion, they have the orphan child sitting on this table trying to figure out what the heck it is. It has not made any attempt to communicate with any of them, hoping that Manchester Black might have some answers, but right now he is passed up because he has been enduring all kinds of torture this entire time. Midnighter knowing that they have to get the rest of the crew back. They also get news from the front that Apollo has been moved, saying that he is in Starforge at Engine City 1. Now we know Midnighter is not going to be happy about this, because that place he believes is going to be more heavily guarded. Thinking that they had an opportunity when it was more vulnerable, they didn't take it. They rescued Manchester Black instead of going after Apollo, who is arguably the heaviest hitter on this team, because if they're gonna take Mongul on, they're gonna need Apollo by their side. But with the bad news comes some good news. They have found Enchantress under the base of the fallen Moonspire. This is where Mother lives. Mother being so powerful, Mongul decided not to make an enemy of her, but to make an alliance, giving Mongul the ability to kill his father to take his place. She is a monster that killed her own civilization, a demon capable of consuming planets when she is angry. This is the undead Witch King. There are tales told of her, so wicked and vile, Once upon a time, there was a village that was about to get attacked. Fearing this attack, knowing that they would all be massacred, somehow they summoned her. And in that summoning, they knew it was their own demise. Knowing all of them would die, they would also kill Mongul's forces. And that's exactly what it did. It killed every last one of them that set foot on that planet. But the reports are that Enchantress is still alive, being the undead witch's prized possession. Even if she is alive, they have no idea how they're really gonna get her out of there. A witch that can kill entire planets. What the heck is our next move? This is where we pick up with Mongul on his newly defeated planet. This planet is the planet of Thalros, the individual that convinced the United Planets to not join Superman in his fight against Warworld. He did this because he bargained with Mongul. Mongul had promised not to come after his planet, that when his campaign began, they would be spared, as long as he was able to convince the United Planets to stay out of his way. But now Mongul has learned that there are warships being developed. These warships, they could very likely take on his fleet. He sees this as an act of war, and so he lets Thalros know that your planet is now tribute. This is a gift saying that you had no ill will towards us, that you do not desire war. He is also requesting an entire fleet of those warships that are being developed. This is the only way that they remain allies. We can only imagine how the members of the United Planets are actually gonna take this. Now that's what takes us down to Necropolis, where Superman and all of the rebels have been hiding out. Superman recognizing that his exposure to the Genesis that is down here, it is giving him a little bit more strength. His worry is if he ventures any of the people down there further, the Phaelosians will start developing and manifesting their abilities and powers. And while that would be a good thing, it would also be uncontrollable. They wouldn't know what they're doing, and it could very likely cause more damage than it would be helping them. This is where, by law, he grabs Superman and he starts to venture down further into this place, letting him know that all of these walls, they have the history of many different people from across the multiverse, even having stories of Earth, from King Arthur to Hercules. And of course, the story of the son of Krypton. He refers to this as source mythology. This is the mythologies of cultures across the entirety of the multiverse. But there is one very important story that he needs to hear about. Why this place is ever changing. Why you cannot map any of this. Why it is like a labyrinth. That is because it was designed exactly and specifically to be that. A god known as Olgrun. He is the first and greatest of the gods. But with all this power came all of his cruelty, even killing his own daughter. Recognizing how dangerous he may be, the other gods, they went to war with him. They knew that there was no way of defeating him, and so they ripped his form to pieces. 7 to be exact. These are known as the 7 god aspects. And I'm not gonna lie, this sounds a lot like freaking Harry Potter right here with Voldemort. But the other gods, they scattered these pieces across the multiverse. Each of these god aspects, they were hidden inside a device that would protect it from the wrathful and the unworthy. From each of the 7 god aspects, a planet grew around them. And throughout the ages, throughout time, this story had been forgotten. A mythology lost in time with one final warning. If the god aspects are found and joined together by one who is worthy, he will be reborn as the hero he was meant to be. But if it is someone that is unworthy, the god will reform as one again, and that god will rain down wrath on everything. So what we are learning is that Warworld is actually a trial. It is one giant puzzle box. This is the power that Mongul has been seeking after, telling Superman that he has to be the one to claim it. Because if he does not, Mongul will do it. He will have the greatest power of the old gods. As Superman prepares for his epic journey, Mongul is out there raiding and pillaging, taking on anybody and everybody who lays in his way. Now this is where we jump into the history of the first Mongul, because to understand why Mongul disliked the Warzoons so much, you have to understand where they came from. Long before this planet was this hellish landscape that it is, it once grew amazing plants and trees, life flourished, and that includes the Warzoons. Among these tribe of people, they dictated no leader, and that is because each of them had their own interest in mind. One night, there was a bright, blinding light from the sky. Something appeared to land off in the distance. One of our hunters, he goes to investigate, to find out what this might have been. This is where he discovers Necropolis. Going inside this once hidden city, this is where he sees a figure standing there, a godlike warrior from another world. As our hunter tries to communicate with him, the god looks down at him like he is nothing more than a pitiful little ant under his boot, not seeing him as a threat or anything else. Turning his back on the hunter becomes enraged. Picking up a rock, he goes and he smashes the god's head in. Now we see that this is in fact not a god, it is somebody who came here looking for something. But our hunter, after doing his kill, he takes the armor, peeling it straight off the skin and fusing it to his own. He becomes one with the yellow jeweled armor. From this moment forward, he referred to himself as Mongul. From that day forward, Mongul took control of this planet, and it turned into the hellish landscape we know it to be today. A hunger for power, domination, a bloodlust that is unmatched by anything else. And so it's not that Mongul hates them, it is their lust for power, in the very nature of a Mongul, to destroy and demolish, dominate everything in sight. And while that story is told throughout the ages, there is another story that goes side by side with it. The story that tells us of the fall of the tyrant. The Warzoons will fail, and the hero will rise. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think that this was one heck of an issue, because this just opened it up to a whole other level. And more than likely, this is what is going to help Superman out. Yeah, we got the death of the Justice League where he gets taken away, along with all of our other main members. But they don't really give us a timeline of when that happens. For all we know, Warworld could completely come to an end, and that's when Death of the Justice League actually transpires. I do believe that this is a way for them to give Superman his power back, because for a long time now, we have known that Superman's powers have been dwindling. He doesn't know why, he doesn't know what's going on. Batman and him have been working with great effort to try to uncover this secret. And so the Superman we see on Warworld, he is already depowered, not mentioning being in this sun, being on this planet. It makes him relatively weak. The Genesis does give him a little bit of power, and that's also why we say Apollo is the heavy hitter on the team as of right now. But I think we are gonna see Superman making his way across the multiverse, unlocking all of these puzzle boxes, being the one to unite the god aspects together. We could very well see the birth or rebirth of Superman. And I really don't know if this is going to be an accurate prediction or not, but with the darkness on the horizon, with this right here, more or less letting us know that Superman will be reborn brand new. I think Superman is going to find these god aspects, and he is going to be the one to save the day. Not this new Justice League, or quote-unquote not a Justice League, because they're not reforming the team as they say. Honestly, I hope that is the case. But who knows, that could be a completely bad prediction. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you have not, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell. Make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.